everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 498. We are that podcast talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And again, Ichigo will be out for a few weeks due to her husband's new work schedule. I mean, getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning for work, Jesus.
Yeesh.
I know! I mean, last time I've had to be up that early was when I was working, while I was working Black Fridays, having to be at the store at 5 or 6 a.m. You know, at least I had a big old bucket of coffee to have with me, but you know, that's neither here nor there.
By the way, like how big is that thing? You know, for people who couldn't really see it or don't know the magic of Wawa coffee.
It's 64 ounces. Basically, take the largest venti cup from Starbucks times 2. Or, if you're like some of the people that me and Mako-chan and Ari hang out with, it's equal to 2 bottles of wine. Don't believe me? Try it.
Yeah, but then it gets warm and gross.
Well, knowing how our friends drink, I think that would be the least of their worries.
True.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, we are live tonight, week of May 11th, 2021, right here live on Twitch TV. You can find us here every Tuesday from 9:30 to 11 here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. And don't forget, we're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network. So head on over to Twitch TV/VOG Network, and you'll see some great programming over there. They kick things off on Sundays at 8 p.m., kicking off with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by Orange John's Radio. And then we come in on Tuesdays, and sometimes during the week they may have little specials here and there. Stay tuned to the website at vognetwork.com for more information about that. And don't forget, we are also on Discord. So hang out with us over at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every person that's part of Voice of Geeks Network, I mean, like every show has their own channel. So come through, hang out, and tell us what's up. Anywho, we're going to go around the room with how was your week? How was your day? Ari.
Well, today was payday, so that
Ka-ching.
got direct deposited. And, well, I am really starting to feel the pinch of, being on workman's comp.
Mm.
Like, I'm seeing, like, back in the booth levels of, wages right now. And, it's just, it's just, motivating me to get better and get, cleared to go back to work, obviously.
No, I totally get that. Believe you me, if I'm looking at my job, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna fly. You best believe I would be at the gym every single day working out just to get my strength back. So, I get that.
Well, speaking of working out, physical therapy's going pretty good.
Well, that's good.
It's, it's not actually hurting, and, I know I do have to go because they might think of some, shenanigans or whatever if, I don't, because I definitely don't want to get on the hook for insurance fraud. That's the last thing I need.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
I'm keeping everyone important, in the know about what's happening with me, how everything's going. And
yeah.
And that's that's pretty much been it for me. I've been playing GTA online a lot, and I found this one person on the Instagram who does artwork of either yourself or your GTA character in the style of official GTA 5 artwork.
Oh, that's nice.
But haven't ordered anything yet because after my 2 major bills, I'm like, oh god, I hope I can make this work till next payday.
You will. And besides, the other reason why they have you going to PT is that, God forbid you're fine and then you get injured like not even a week after you leave PT and it's like the cycle starts again,
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Exactly. So
So yeah, that's how things have been going for me.
Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
I am so tired.
Do tell.
Well, no, it's basically I went over to visit my mother for Mother's Day this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I had the apartment to myself, I basically lazed around all day. I did put my computer chair together, and unfortunately, like I thought, it does not fit under my desk.
I could have told you that.
Actually, it's not bad. It's the arms, like the down where it is by the seat. It's just that part that doesn't go under the desk. So if the arms weren't attached, then I could put the chair under the desk and have no issue.
Right.
However, I have no choice but to have the arms, because if the arms were not attached, I would not have the back of the chair either.
See, there is
Wonderful how that works out.
See,
Yeah.
there is a way to kind of fix that. Now, here's the thing. Most chairs use the same parts, so you could get a really tall gas cylinder and just swap it out. Depending on how tall of a one you get, you can slide your chair underneath the desk, but the handles will be on top of the desk, you know?
Well, no, the handles move.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the it's not the armrests themselves. Those actually
Did it
flip up.
like
Oh, so you're saying how wide out, like, the arms that hold the armrests?
Right.
Gotcha.
It's actually the part of the arm that attaches to the seat itself.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's about a 1/2 inch on either side, and because it's hard plastic,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only part that doesn't actually fit under the desk itself. So I have no choice, because I can't exactly, remove them.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I haven't slept well this week, so I'm really, really freaking tired. I think I've gotten maybe like 5 hours of sleep each night since Sunday.
So you weren't sliding. So you didn't get a chance to kind of slide out of your room with sunglasses and a collared shirt, singing old time rock and roll.
Maybe if I had hardwood floors, I would be able to do that. But me and roller skates and rollerblades don't work very well, so I ain't sliding nowhere.
True. And on a side note here,
Plus, you don't really have hardwood floors, do you?
No, it's all carpet.
Yeah, that no traction on that.
and Serenity1488 wants to know, how is the new kitty?
It's actually my cousin's kitty, and he's absolutely adorable. We think he's part Bengal. But because they went back to visit their mom for Mother's Day, they didn't want to drag the cat with them. So I had all 3 cats with me this weekend.
He kind of looks
And
like
it
a
was very
stoner type
interesting,
cat.
and I had a cuddle buddy. He finally warmed up enough by Saturday night that he decided that he was going to sleep in bed with me, which,
Oh.
I mean, it works out well because, like, a couple years back with Wabbit, Wabbit liked to sleep up by my head, and that's usually where Damien sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeter just likes to sleep on you. So I actually had him basically on me no matter how often I turned. So it was no problem with the other cats and with Damien. So yeah.
Did they all lay together in a big cat pile?
No, they're not that friendly. But I can get 2 of them up on the bed with no issues. The 3 of them they'll stay in the living room together and have no issues, but they're really spread out.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly it's just 2 per room.
Sounds good. Sounds fair. All right, cool.
Cat piles are just so cute.
Mm-hmm.
They are, but yeah. At least Damien's the type that just goes, yeah, whatever.
Exactly. You should have renamed him to to John McClane, because he's at that point, because, John McClane really doesn't care anymore.
Well, yeah, but when Damien was Damien was my grandmother's cat, and he was aptly named Damien because he was a high holy terror. He would chase after people. He would bite and scratch. He did not like anybody really, except for my grandmother. But then I got my claws on him, and now he's just a cuddle slut. He is. He's actually taken to sleeping on my shoulder at night, like curled up next to my neck.
Yeah.
That's in the last 2 months that's been going on. So it's been really cute and nice. And sometimes he gets very, very, very loud.
Does he purr really loud or just scream loud?
Damien purrs really loud.
You've heard him before.
Yeah, if he gets really into it, he starts vibrating, and he has vibrated my whole shoulder before with his purring.
That sounds adorable.
He is adorable. And yes, I'm petting him now. He's currently laying behind me.
Well, to make that official, so there you go. Wait, hold on. And boom. There we go. Anywho, so my weekend day, as always, has been the same, except that I've spent the last few days trying to track down a brand new bed and frame from IKEA, along with a matching dresser. And the dressers that they have are too big. So I found one that's the right size, but there's no top and base that's available. And I'm sitting here going, well, there's no point in buying the cabinet part of it, because what if the top and base gets discontinued? So I'm like, screw that. I'll just get the bed for now, and because my current, dresser is fine. That's all well and good. And I also spent 3 hours on Sunday cleaning out and organizing my storage cabinet, my storage closet, right back there where you see the lanyards. I ended up throwing out an old cosplay that I've had for years, saying that I was going to wear it again, but I never did. And it's Wizard from Angelic Layer. It's one of my favorite cosplays, but yeah, I've kind of grown out of it. It's been at least 10 plus years since I've worn it. So I'm like, I might as well toss it. And in doing so, I found a broken light in one of the bags I stored the costume. Like those LED lights or whatever. So I tossed that. And I found my old Mythwear bag. And I have like a shoulder Mythwear Evangelion bag. And I realized it does need to be patched up. Like, it needs a little piece of plastic or metal on the side so that the carry bag will work. And as Cedar DeBeery says, Angelic Layer needs more love. Yes, it does. Because I have the manga. I have the entire DVD box set. And I've been pondering to buy the Blu-ray, even though it's just the regular episodes in SD on like 2 discs. I'm just like, well, if I catch a good price on it. And that's basically has been my weekend day. And as when we get to Geek Roundtable, I got a very interesting story to tell. So that's going to be fun. So, anywho, all right. Housekeeping notes. Let's take a look here. Don't forget, head on over to youtube.com/animejamsession and click on the link for podcast VODs. All of the episodes on here from the beginning of January are available. So if you like listening to the podcast and you want to just kind of see how we react to stuff or something like that, just head on over to our YouTube page. Replay episodes will go up every Thursday around 12 noon. Check that out. Don't forget to check out the VOG Network merch store at shop.vognetwork.com. It'll redirect you to the shop where you can buy some cool swag and cool merch. Everything you buy goes back into VOG Network to help it keep it going, because this comes out of our pocket. So we love doing what we do. So, throw a little dollar here and there. We appreciate that. And we are 2 episodes away from our 500th episode, where we have not actually gone as far as verbally threatening each other live on the show and throwing weapons. So, there's an achievement right there. So, I think
there's still 2 episodes to go.
But still, I think we all deserve a pat on the back for the time being. So.
Well, I didn't realize that throwing weapons was an option.
Mako-chan?
Good job, Ranma.
This is you we're talking about.
You gave her ideas.
Well,
what?
This is Mako-chan. She doesn't need any ideas. For all we know, she's probably sitting there right now cleaning her nails with her Bowie knife, okay? Remember.
No, actually, it's not a Bowie knife. It's a knife in the shape of a leaf.
See?
It's sharp enough that I can, cut down my cuticles with it.
See? The camera's always on her swag. We don't know what she's doing. It could have been an episode where she actually had her knives out on the bed and just inspecting them,
Yeah, I actually probably need to sharpen some of them.
See? You see what I'm saying? Quick thing here. Serenity 1488 says, wondering what would be better, using 2 box springs to raise the bed or actually getting a bed frame. Size is a queen. I think it'd actually be cheaper to get a bed frame. If you're going to spend that type of money on a box spring, you're better off getting a bed frame with storage containers underneath. Just saying. So.
Yeah, I've been looking at stuff like that for when it comes time to replace my my sleeping situation. Because...
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. I've had this futon for 2 years, and of course, I didn't get the most fanciest one. I just got a decent one, and it's a pain in the ass to flip it up and pull it down so it stays down, right across the part. So that
I've had that mattress since before I moved to my current apartment.
Yeah. That and the futon mattress literally split itself in half on the inside, so, and it's starting to sag a little, so, I'm like, yeah, I think I need to treat myself, to something nice to sleep on, so, and I paid off basically 99% of my credit card bills, so, and I have money left over, so I am going to treat myself, so,
Yeah, I would really like, my mattress is fine. I actually inherited this mattress, and it's a very expensive pillow top mattress. But what I really want is a new bed frame, and I specifically want one that it raises the mattress so I can store stuff underneath, and then would lower the mattress back.
Sort of like what I had before?
No, that is a captain's bed,
Okay.
so that has drawers under it. This actually, it raises the mattress itself like a Murphy bed, so that you can actually fully store stuff underneath it and get to everything without having to, really take apart anything.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Down.
Yeah. Yes, you can use a box spring on a bed frame, so actually you're supposed to, if you get the bed frame, you put the box spring and then the mattress, because without the box spring, the mattress is going to fall right through the frame. Unless you get those IKEA slats, but but
I'm looking at these types of frames and they're like $600, $800.
Are you looking on Amazon?
$1,000.
Are you looking on Amazon?
This is actually on Overstock.com.
Check Amazon, because it's probably a third of the price, and it's probably coming off a slow boat from China. Let's see, what else do we have?
This is what I'm talking about.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, let's take a look here. Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah, that's what I want.
In a way, I kind of want that more, but
I just figure I could, the crap that I could store underneath that, then I could put, basically all my cosplay crap.
yeah,
Because it's not
I
stuff that I
get that.
need. Yeah, it's not stuff that I need often, so I can put, my cosplay shoes under there. I can, put my props under there. Stuff that I'm not gonna use every day or, even once a month or anything. So that's actually what I really, really want it for.
Yep,
That
and
does
it's
look nice.
and it's basically the same price on Amazon.
Yeah, those frames are not cheap.
Thankfully, because I've rearranged stuff in my storage closet, I actually have space. And speaking of, when I went through to clean up, like, I have, like, gym bags and stuff like that, and I'm cleaning up the gym bags and throwing stuff out. I found a pack of Valentine's candy in one of the bags. And I'm sitting here eating them as we talk.
That was my next question. Does it say when it expires?
No.
Huh.
Most candy like that, hard candies and crap like that, they don't really expire. I mean, they can go bad if moisture gets into them, but it's pure sugar, and sugar is one of those foods or food products that actually doesn't go bad, or I should say doesn't go stale.
Yeah.
So the only time something happens to it is if it gets wet or something like that, and then it, gets melty and sticky and moldy.
Right. And it was still sealed, so
Yeah.
And for some
that-
reason, my
that story
storage
checks
yeah,
out.
my storage closet is kind of temperature controlled, so it's nice. Now the way it is in there, I can actually pull stuff out and put my comic bins in there in shorter bins if I actually get around to doing so. But that'll happen soon enough. And let's see what else we have here. And don't forget, this Saturday, starting at May 15th, starting at 8 p.m., from 8 to 8, is Michelle Knotz's 1-year streamiversary. We're going 24 hours. I will be there. Mako will be there. A few other people from Knott's Berry Farm will be there. So come through, hang out. We'll be hosting. We'll be playing a lot of Mario games. There may be some adult beverages, but there will be plenty of food. And going back into the chat room here, Serenity428 says that she had a bed frame that only lasts a few weeks and broke it by accident by body slamming on it.
That'll do it.
No, that's gonna go down the path for Anime Jam Session After Dark. It's only 10 p.m., so there's still quote unquote daylight. Anywho, next up is Geek Roundtable. This is a part of the show where we talk about the nerdier aspects of our week. So, Ari, what you got?
Well, I was looking around my apartment and I decided, I'll show off this here. This is it's a film cell from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, nice.
A friend of mine had gotten it for me for Christmas a few years ago. Like, I had it, like, pardon me. Anyway, I had it about the time, I actually moved into the place.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little frame there. And you see it, a certificate of authenticity about it. And
nice.
They got me that for it because I like the Marvel movies, and my friends, with my long hair and my beard, I get compared to Vikings a lot.
Makes sense.
I mean, they do say that I'll be the only one of the group that's worthy of wielding Mjolnir, but only because one or two of them would probably just immediately burst into flames if they tried to grab it. So,
Gotcha. All right, Mako-chan. As always, you wear your fandom on your sleeve.
I do. So this actually is two fandoms. As you all know, I am super obsessed with Supernatural.
You don't say.
Yeah, but I also collect tarot cards and tarot sets, and so when I saw that they were doing a supernatural tarot set, I had to have it. And what's really cool is the actual guidebook, if you look at it, is really freaking thick. So it actually takes the major arcana and does a full picture of the card with the description. And then the minor gets 1 page for the card and description. But it gives a full description of not only the card itself, but the character, and basically every major character that has appeared in the series from season 1 to season 15 is part of this.
Oh.
So that really excited me as well, because, you know, something like that is right in my wheelhouse for collectibles.
I thought there were 16 seasons.
Nope, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 was split in half because of COVID. So they only got half of 15 out before COVID forced them to basically stop being able to record and edit whatever was left. So they actually hadn't recorded the last 2 episodes before COVID hit, which is why the last 2 episodes are not up to par and don't include as many character cameos as they really wanted for the ending.
Okay.
So a lot of people are like, oh, the ending sucks. It's like, no, COVID forced it to suck. You know, don't blame them for not being able to have...
That was stuff out of their control.
Yep.
Right. I mean, basically, they were supposed to have cameos from a lot of the different characters come in. But you figure at that point, everybody had to quarantine for 2 weeks just to be able to record, because they were in Canada. So you can't have somebody that is only making, gonna be recording maybe 3 hours.
Right.
Quarantine for 2 weeks.
Is that your cat throwing up?
That would be my cat trying to throw up, yes.
Wow, you caught that.
Yeah, I know all about that sound.
I probably, as do I, but I probably wouldn't have caught it right away. I've been like, oh. I assume Damien's going for the other shoe this time.
No, he's actually on my bed, so excuse me.
Okay. All right, so a couple things. Well, I wanted to mention this last week, but I totally forgot. Or if I did mention it, I didn't get a chance to show it off. But I have a desk mat. Not like a typical desk pad or desk mat where it has like the calendar on it and stuff like that. No. Basically, it is a large mouse pad. And it's basically, if I'm looking at it correctly...
Guys, I gotta go for a bit.
All right, go on.
Take your time.
No rush. It's like 38 inches by 11.5 inches. And this sucker is huge. So basically, this replaced my mouse pad. And I have my mouse on here, my keyboard, everything. So let me show you real quick if I can. As you can see, it's from from Linus Tech Tips, lttstore.com. It's just basically goes across my entire desk, which is kind of cool.
Looks nice.
Thanks. I mean, and what's interesting though is that every size was the same price, and that was really cool because I think Linus said something about there's no point in having different prices for different sizes. It's just, I guess to him, each size is like a differentiation anywhere from 25 cents to $1. So I kind of wish. In a way, I kind of wish I gotten the larger size, but I did want some areas not covered because if you noticed, right next to the desk pad, I have my canteen of water here. So I'd rather have that sitting on the desk. A little bit of backsplash. I thought about going a little bit higher and the depth, but I'm like, this is fine. This is perfect, because I always hated that feeling of like I'm at my keyboard, I'm at my computer and I'm typing, and I have my hand on my mouse, and it's like my part of my hand falls off the mouse pad, and it's like I don't like that feeling of like trying to move the mouse pad closer to the keyboard, like it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. But now with this, it's I just have plenty of space to work with, which is great. So, which kind of sucks is because if I was able to get the that dresser, I was going to move my desktop out from underneath my desk and put my tower, move it outside, and I had like more breathing room underneath my desk. But here's something interesting for my Geek Roundtable. So, if you haven't noticed in recent weeks and months, my collection of figurines have gotten more and more. I actually have 3 Rem figurines on pre-order. I'm going to soon have more Rem figurines than I do of Sailor Venus figurines, so I'm just like, well, fuck, we can't have that. But as I went to, I think I had pre-ordered, I think I purchased another figurine off of Amazon, and I had spotted a Hatsune Miku figurine. It's a figurine of her in rollerblades, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. Hold on here. Let me see if I can pull up a picture, because I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all this picture. Let's see. All right, let me move this over here. Go into orders. Right, that pre-order is going to sit there for a while. Okay. All right, that's the other thing that I purchased. Yeah, here we go. Delivered Wednesday. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to have to Google search it, because you can't right-click an image in Amazon and just grab it, you know? Unless you kind of...
This here? Oop.
It probably is that. Hold on.
Got like a blue and white, almost like like a car hop uniform.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, I like the fact that she was wearing rollerblades, so, you know. So here is the figurine. That's the figurine that I purchased. Interestingly enough, it didn't pop up on otaku mode, so I'm like, you know what? It's really cute. I caught it on sale on Honey, so I just paid $32 for it. But side note, I have not played the new Resident Evil game yet, but I did watch a voice actor beat the game, so I guess that's it, and that's that. Kind of feels like a side story, but it's a story for another time. So I go ahead and I order it. Friday, I get a notification that the package has been delivered. So I go outside. I get the package. Yes, a 50s waitress outfit. And I notice there are 2 packages outside. I'm like, did another one of my figurines come early? Because there are times when otaku mode will tell you your stuff has shipped, and then you get it, and if you check your account, it's still in a pending state, so you know. So I go ahead and I get it, and I open the package. This is what I got.
It's cocooned in bubble wrap.
Exactly. And I'm going to open the bubble wrap. Here's the figurine. Now, what's wrong with this picture?
I don't know.
All right. Well, Ari, you did mention it. It came wrapped in bubble wrap. This is a brand new figurine shipped to me in bubble wrap. It was not in the original packaging that it's supposed to. Yep.
Right. I thought it was like something with the figure itself. I'm like, okay, he has a lot more figures than I do, so he probably knows something I don't.
No. Now, I do have a couple of figurines that were gently used that I got from Rose when she was in Japan. And those, I think those didn't have a packaging, so that's understandable. I knew that coming in that was going to be used for whatever. But here's something interesting. I opened the second package. It's 50s Miku. They sent me 2.
Oh, neat.
No, I only ordered 1.
Well, hey, now you can flip the other one.
Actually, no. I'm going to give the other one to a friend of mine. So what I ended up doing was... Yeah. But I was going to flip it, but my friend Julia, she's also a big fan of Miku. So I'm like, I'm going to give it to her. Yeah. So here's the thing. I went on Amazon JP and ordered another figurine. Same one. It was like $1 more with shipping. And I'm hoping that this one comes in the box. And it's going to arrive Friday. If it shows up in the box, I'm sending these back. Even if the other one doesn't come in a box, I'm still sending these back. So I'm just like, what the fuck? How can you sell a figurine that's brand new and it comes to you arrive in bubble wrap? See what I'm saying? Anywho, let's get into tonight's stories.
I'll take the first one then.
Sure, go for it. Since Mako is still cleaning up the mess that Damien did on her bed, so go for it.
So yeah, the state of emergency in Japan is still in effect until May 31st. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga declared on Friday that the current new coronavirus disease state of emergency in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Hyogo prefectures is being extended until the end of May, and that Aichi and Fukuoka prefectures will also be under a state of emergency starting May 12th. The extended state of emergency covers 6 of Japan's 13 most populous prefectures, with 43 million people, or 1/3 of Japan's population. Under the current state of emergency, the government asked large department stores and shopping centers to close, except those offering daily essentials, and events to have no in-person audiences. Under the new extension, the government will ask large department stores to close by 8 p.m. instead of altogether, and even events to have no more than 5,000 attendees and end by 9. The Osaka prefectural government asked for an extension of the state of emergency this week after reporting heavy strain in its hospital system. Economy Minister and COVID-19 government response head Yasutoshi Nishimura underlined the extreme critical situation in Osaka, warning that hospital bed occupancy in Tokyo might mirror the critical state for Osaka over the next 2 weeks, unless the infection rate is slowed. Japan already has 1,131 severe cases of COVID-19, a record high for the country. They also declared on April 27th that for the aforementioned prefectures, as well as prefectures in a quasi-state of emergency, will continue restricting events until June. And the previous restrictions were meant to end by April. Which, yeah, this is becoming a bigger pain in the ass by the day.
You know what? Just cancel the goddamn Olympics already. Just cancel it. I think we talked about this last week, or
we talked about it a couple times.
Yeah,
I think.
There's people wanting, cancel the Olympics. A friend of mine who lives in Japan, she signed a petition for them to postpone / cancel the Olympics, and I'm sitting there going, you know what? You're not wrong. I mean, the last time the Olympics were canceled was over,
millions of people dying, and that was one of the that was the Second World War. Canceled 2 of them. I mean, the precedent is there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now I remember I had said on Twitter, it seems that, in Japan, they're not allowing athletes to wear Black Lives Matter paraphernalia. So I'm like, well, it's not like I really was going to plan on watching it anyway. But as I did say to my friend who shared that, if athletes are wearing Stop AAPI Hate, which stands for Asian American Pacific Islander, if they're wearing that, they're not going to say a damn thing. So there's your double standard right there. But, I don't see nothing wrong, with them wearing that type of paraphernalia. As long as it's not overtaking their uniform, if they're wearing like a little patch, let them, It's not.
You also remember that in in Mexico City in '68, two Olympians were banned for life for doing a silent Black Power salute
I
on
remember that. Yep.
the podium,
Yep.
which sucks because you know there was riots in Mexico City at that time, and the IOC just went, eh.
I get it. The IOC wants to keep things like, they want to be as neutral as possible. They don't want to get involved. But sometimes there are some things where you have no choice but to get involved with. So,
Needless to say, the IOC was on the wrong side in that debacle.
mm-hmm.
And well, three guys, because the silver medalists, they actually encouraged them to go through with it. Like, they've all been vindicated in their stance.
Well, that's good.
Also, they each rose a different hand because they only had one pair of gloves.
All right. Now we're going to get into my fandom real quick. So, yeah, if you notice, it's taken me a little bit more to hit my tablet to run the timeline because my tablet sits on top of my printer, which sits on top of my file cabinet, which is on wheels. I moved it closer to my fridge for space because I cleared out that area. That way I have more foot room because my new speakers that I have, the subwoofer, that sucker is huge. So, I kind of needed the space. So sometimes it's like, if I could be like Mr. Fantastic,
Uh-huh.
All right, can you guys hear my fan?
Not really.
No, not really. I don't think that's going to be that
Okay.
big of a deal because of all of us talking and so forth. So.
Okay, good. Because if
Is
I don't
everything
have well, yeah. He just, it was very wet, and now my mattress is soaked.
Oof.
So I had to strip the bed and clean everything, and now I have to wait for everything to dry before I can make my bed so I can go to bed tonight.
Yeah, maybe it's time to invest
Wonderful.
into some plastic lining for the bed for the mattress.
I'm not investing in plastic lining for my mattress.
There. Okay. So as you settle in, let me tell y'all about season 2 of Love Live Nijigasaki. And I wasn't even sure if it was going to get a second season because the way the first season ended, it was fine. But we are getting a season 2 next year. So until then, we'll have Love Live Superstar, which we're getting sometime in July. So the new season was announced during the Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club 3rd Live School Idol Festival, Yume no Hajimari, which was on May 8th and May 9th. Basically, this series takes place in Tokyo's Odaiba area. This is a spin-off project from the popular Love Live franchise. So if you're following me here, we have Love Live Sunshine. Now we have Love Live Nijigasaki School Idol Club, and now we're going to have Love Live Superstar. So I'm just waiting for them to just do a special episode where all 4 series crisscross one way or another. That would be great.
That's probably going to be a movie event.
I'm all for that, So I would love to see that happen. So this anime series follows Yu, a second-year student at Nijigasaki High School, and her childhood friend Ayumu as they try to save their school's idol club. And what's indifferent is there's 10 of them, but one of them is basically like the manager. So as I'm watching this, it's like, wait, that one? It took me a while to figure that out because it's like sometimes it's like the intro will show 10, but 9 of them. I'm like, did I miss something? So it's kind of cool. I did enjoy Nijigasaki. I will say the animation was quite clean in comparison to the prior 2 series. So, anywho, moving right along. Mako-chan, can you tell us about the Dragon Ball Super movie?
Sure. If I can get everything to load. So yeah, it was revealed at this year's Goku Day celebration, which is May 9th in Japan. Toei Animation revealed that they have plans for a new Dragon Ball Super movie. So it is going to be a brand new story by the creator of Dragon Ball. He's also going to be providing character designs and even wrote lines of the script. So they're saying that the movie is currently scheduled to premiere sometime in 2022. Obviously, that could change due to COVID. But Akira Toriyama sent a message to Dragon Ball fans around the world. An all-new movie since Dragon Ball Super Broly is currently in the making. Just like the previous movie, I'm heavily leading the story and dialogue production for another amazing film. I really shouldn't talk too much about the plot yet, but be prepared for some extreme and entertaining bouts which may feature an unexpected character. We'll be charting through some unexplored territory in terms of the visual aesthetics to give the audience an amazing ride. So I hope everyone will look forward to the new movie. Dragon Ball, the launch of Dragon Ball, which is the original story, is 37 years old.
Yep.
So yeah, the entire storyline is extremely large scale. I know that they have had spin-offs which weren't exactly part of the series.
Sorry. Something I caught in my throat. Sorry.
So, I mean, I'm excited. Dragon Ball is one of my fandoms. Obviously, we have friends that are involved in the fandom. So I do look forward to hopefully having them gainfully employed with this movie. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy the movies. The only reason why I didn't actually go and see Broly, obviously, is because of certain voice actors which will not be named and their idiocy. So I'm hoping that I don't have this issue with the new movie that will be coming out.
Yes, we have another He Who Shall Not Be Named. But as Theo X75 asks, is Toriyama still doing the art for DBZ? Manga-wise, no. That's the Dragon Ball Super manga is handed off to another team that's working on that. He still helps out with character designs and storyline arcs, as you can see, for the movie. So it's not.
I mean, basically, when they do introduce new characters, they do kind of go, "Oh, hey, you know, you want to give us a little bit of a nudge here." And, you know, it's just like with Sailor Moon. For the anime, Sailor Moon R was not actually part of the manga. But
it's
they
a filler
went...
arc.
Right. But that ends the movies. They went to the creator and went, we'd like to keep this in your style. Would you mind possibly doing some character art for us? So she did. That's why those characters look so similar to her art style, is because she had a hand in doing those characters. It's just like a lot of them. For the Inuyasha spinoff, it's the character designs from the creator of Inuyasha to keep everything flowing, even though the story itself is not necessarily, you know, her stuff. Hi, Damien, you back? You gonna throw up some more?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Like, not do that on my bed this time?
It's not like it's the Boruto manga where I believe Kishimoto came back to write for it, but there's another person doing the artwork, so.
Right. And I mean, sometimes that happens. Sometimes they are just too busy to actually do the drawing anymore. So they hand the drawing off to somebody else. It happens, you know, I mean, look at Marvel. Marvel, DC, they are constantly coming up with new storylines for their characters. And it's not just one person doing that character. They're finally, Japan is finally getting onto that, where it's like, okay, well, we can have the person doing, that created the character to do the story, but let them just work on the story and let a bunch of minions do the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Minions.
And it does.
Sorry,
I mean,
bit
there
of a
there are so many
reflex.
people. There are so many people in Japan that their major is animation or drawing and stuff like that. There are so many people out there that need work. So it really works for them to be able to, actually do something like that, because they're trained in doing the art. They're not trained in actually doing storylines.
I swear, the only times we should be discussing GT is when it comes to a Mustang, not Dragon Ball.
Hi-oh.
Mustangs are pretty.
See? Now, while Mako-chan is fantasizing about a Mustang GT, we're going to go ahead and talk about Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. And it has become the first Japanese film in history to hit 50 billion yen at the box office worldwide. Right now, as of when this article was released last week, 50 billion yen, which translates to $458 million. That's a lot of money. And I think we talked about another title that just hit high numbers like that, but damn. So basically, Golden Week is basically over. The box office receipts are coming in and the numbers have been tabulated. And as theorized previously, as of the 202nd day in Japanese theater, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie, Mugen Train, has become the first Japanese film to ever pass 50 billion yen at the worldwide box office. It had already passed Spirited Away as the highest grossing Japanese film of all time. But it was just a matter of time before Mugen Train would hit this high number.
No one gets off this motherfucking Mugen Train.
I should watch it this weekend. The official Japanese box office figures for this film were recently released since we last discussed this a few weeks ago. Mugen Train has increased its box office takings in Japan by 100 million for a total of 39.88 billion yen, which translates to $366.7 million. On the back of nearly 29 million tickets sold. While in the previous week prior, the film only brought in 80 million yen, this new figure is from the last 10 days rather than the usual 7, meaning Mugen Train likely only made much as it did the week prior. Fans of the movie were hoping to get Mugen Train to 40 billion yen in Japan before Rengoku's birthday on May 10th, which something else I kind of discovered, but But since the cancellation of his birthday celebrations and the continuing of the state of emergency and most metropolitan regions of Japan, theaters are closing, so it would be kind of difficult for it to happen in just 4 days. But though a vast majority of the box office numbers have been from Japan, international regions have been doing very well, even as they reopen after COVID restrictions. In North America, the second largest box office for the film and the largest outside of Japan, with $34 million in its second week in theater. Taiwan comes in second with $22.47 million, and South Korea in third place with nearly $16.5 million. Total worldwide box office numbers, $458 million. It's a little bit over $458.5 million.
Still some really good numbers.
I know. The movie opened up in Japanese cinemas on October 16th and had the best opening weekend in Japanese cinema history, becoming the highest grossing film in Japanese theaters ever, the highest grossing anime and Japanese film worldwide, and the second highest grossing film of 2020. In North America, Mugen Train made its stops in theaters on April 23rd, available dubbed and subbed, with a digital release being available on June 22nd, or a few weeks ago if you have a PlayStation and you're on the PlayStation Store, But this is becoming Mugen Train has become the first anime film to top U.S. box office since Pokemon the first movie back in 1999. Wow. Who would have thought a kid trying to save his sister and turn her human would overtop a trainer telling Pikachu Thundershock? Or in this case, Thunderbolt. I never would have guessed.
I guess to take down one hype train, you had to pilot another hype train.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like Pokemon is more known than Demon Slayer, especially here in the U.S. So that's just like, whoa. But I will say, I guess because of COVID and the restrictions being lifted, us weebs going out, a reason to go to the theaters, so plus there's not a lot of stuff in theaters right now, so so I think that also played in its favor. All right, moving right along, we have the Next Manga Awards submissions, and they are open.
All right. The 7th Tsugi Nikuru Manga Taisho Next Manga Awards opened its English website for accepting overseas votes on Friday. This year marks the first time the awards have accepted entries and votes from outside Japan. Submissions for the print manga and web manga categories will be open until May 21st. The award accepts user submissions of up-and-coming manga with potential to become the next big hits and selects the most popular titles as nominees. Winners are then determined based on votes from manga fans from all over the world. Nominations are only accepted in Japanese, but the final voting based on shortlisted titles will be available in both English and Japanese. And the final winners will be announced August 24th. I guess they expect to count a lot of votes.
Yeah.
Pardon me. In the print and web manga series, submissions are accepted for titles currently serializing in Japan that have no more than 5 print volumes released, or has started serialization after January 1st, 2020. Entries accepted for original works of any genre. Works that ranked in the top 3 in the previous awards are not eligible for nomination. And last year's winners included Undead Unluck in the print category and The Dangers of My Heart in the web manga category. In 2018, the winners were Rise wa Tanin Gali by Asuka Konishi and My Senpai is Annoying by Shiromata. And in 2019, we had Kusuria no Hito Gori, The Apothecary Diaries, and Spy Cross Family.
Interesting.
I have never heard of any of these titles.
Same.
So I'm not as big as a weeb as some other people. Am I the only one predicted ballot box stuffing? Since it's going to be, opened up the entire world?
Probably.
I'm guessing, there might be some shenanigans involved. I don't know.
Is it always the case?
Or maybe I just have very little faith in my fellow otaku.
It depends on how they actually do the ballots. If it is,
and all that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do it by email address, sometimes they do it by IP address, and sometimes they just allow you to vote, once a day.
I'll tell you this: if it's anything like the anime awards, there will definitely be a clusterfuck involved. Anywho, our last story of the night falls right back into Mako-chan's wheelhouse.
Yeah, so it was announced a little while ago that the Takarazuka review,
or Taco Bazooka, as some of our friends call it.
Yeah, Taco Bazooka. Takarazuka review is an all-female musical troupe. It's basically the opposite of Kabuki, which Kabuki is all males. So the Takarazuka review is doing a stage musical adaptation of Tsukage Hojo's City Hunter. So they did actually load some visuals, and they are very, very nice. The musical, titled Musical City Hunter Nusa Maratha XYZ, or Stolen XYZ, is going to run at the Takarazuka Grand Theater from August 6th to September 13th, and at Tokyo's Takarazuka Theater from October 1st to November 14th. Oh, hello again, Kitty. So this is going to be the Takarazuka Review's Snow Troop. And just like all other idols, there are different troops that do this, depending on the company. That depends on their names. So,
it kind of reminds me of the troops from Sakura Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've seen Takarazuka do quite a few things.
Yep.
They did an entire Sailor Moon series with the Takarazuka actresses. So, I don't think our girl is in Snow Troop, though.
I thought that was her in the front here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to look up and see who is... Yeah, because there's a Flower Troop, a Moon Troop, a Snow Troop, a Star Troop, and a Cosmos Troop. Let me see if I can pull it up. Come on.
It's getting there. It's making its way there.
Yeah, I think she's in Flower Troop.
Okay.
So yeah, so for those that nope, that is not, nope. She might be in a different review too. But yeah, so anyway, they do a lot of different musicals throughout the year. They do a lot of classical plays, a lot of classical musicals, and all of the actors on stage are women. I know that one of the troops actually came over 2 or 3 years back and did a full Takarazuka Chicago review.
Yes, and she was. I think she was in that one.
Yes, she was.
Yes,
I think she
and
was
I
the main
really
character in
wanted
that
to
one.
go and see it. I knew friends who actually flew in from the West Coast just for this. I'm just like, that's dedication.
Yeah. Yeah, Yuga. Let me see.
Yeah, Yamato Yuga, that's her name.
Yeah, she's in the Cosmos Troop.
Okay.
She is in Takarazuka Review, but she's in Cosmos Troop.
All right, now that we got that out the way, here's the part of the show that y'all really tune in for is Meanwhile in Japan.
I called a second article.
Okay. I'm going to take the last one.
Okay. I gotta try and get to that. Okie dokie. So I get the first one. This is an update. So basically, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the 7-Eleven that was being built in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven. So it looks like the 7-Eleven in the parking lot of the other 7-Eleven has finally opened for business. So just as a refresher, back in 2018, Matsumoto, who owned the original 7-Eleven, declared he would no longer keep his store open 24 hours a day, citing a lack of staff as the cause. He said that the percentage of revenue taken by the head office made it too hard to pay his clerks a decent wage. So, by 2019, he cut ties with 7-Eleven, ending the contract. Or I should say 7-Eleven cut ties with him because of that, cutting the contract. He ended up having to close the store and leaving it vacant for over a year, basically closed due to COVID and legal dispute. On May 4th, 7-Eleven held a grand opening of the new temporary location about 2 meters in front of Matsumoto's store. So, they're basically saying that the weirdest thing is that there was a tiny 7-Eleven sign placed next to the original 7-Eleven sign. They also kept the rear construction wall up so that the original store would stay out of sight. And so it did. The Matsumoto ended up giving a press conference reading 7 headquarters, please stop the improper use of force. So he ended up walking over to the new 7-Eleven to buy a coffee from it, went back to his own store, and was flocked by reporters. After explaining his situation and saying that this new development wasn't to his liking, but he had to focus on his legal case, and again, he is suing for the rights of the store. After the press conference, he said, anywhere in the world, it's important to have a voice. Having your voice is important, even if you're mistaken, because when everyone makes their voice heard, more can be accomplished than by keeping quiet and just letting the wrong people have their way. So, yeah. So it looks like the court case will begin on May 28th. And the judges will determine once and for all the fate of this lot full of 7-Elevens.
Yo, dog, I heard you like 7-Eleven, so you put a 7-Eleven in your 7-Eleven.
Normally over here we just do the whole Starbucks across the street from a Starbucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, according to this, he only owned the actual building. Everything else was leased by 7-Eleven itself. So 7-Eleven could and did build a smaller store and place it in the parking lot of where the original store was. Since they broke, franchisiness with the original store owner, he really can't call his store 7-Eleven anymore. So there really is technically only one 7-Eleven on that spot. It just happens to be in the parking lot of a closed, run-down 7-Eleven.
Maybe he could turn into a Lawson's.
Huh. Or you know what else they would do here is they'll probably get converted into like a generic kind of store like that. It'll have something where like it's an 812 or something like that.
Well, I mean, his whole thing though is that he could not stay open for the 24 hours, which is one of 7-Eleven's big things.
Mm-hmm.
It's 24, or I should say, their whole gimmick, 7 days a week, blah, blah, blah. So that was his whole thing, is that he couldn't stay open for the entire time. And 7-Eleven corporate was getting enough complaints of people wanting to go in there late at night and buy stuff that they finally were like, look, if you can't keep to the hours that we as corporate tell you to, then you're done. So even if he were to open his own store, he still wouldn't be able to do the whole 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing. So there's still going to be time where he's not making any money and 7-Eleven is. Even if he did switch over to a Lawson's or something like that.
Now, Ari, it's interesting that you bring that up. Years ago, there was a TV show called Fight Back with David Horowitz. It's basically like consumer protection type show. I remember an episode where this guy opened up his version of 7-Eleven and got flack for it. And he called it 612. And I think if you Google it, you can still find some information in regards to that.
Well, there actually is an 812 generic off-brand 7-Eleven near me. I've only just driven past it.
Look, Look, all I know is about 7 months ago, the 7-Eleven by me closed. It is an empty lot. Diagonally across the street from me used to be a supermarket. It is now a church. I don't know anymore. As long as I still have a couple of home style pizzerias, I'm perfectly okay.
Well, that's New York, so that's pretty much anywhere.
It's like I've said, if you go up Avenue U, there's 4 pizzerias, a Mexican place, and a Papa John's.
So, good pizza places and a Papa John's.
There you go. And Cia DeBerry says, I never saw Quick Stop in person until I moved to Florida. Dude, that's not the real Quick Stop. Oh, wait, I'm thinking, Quick Stop. That's not the real Quick Stop, dude. Me and Mako, we've seen the real Quick Stop, and that
we actually tracked that down.
Yep, and
it's
right,
like a pilgrimage for any Kevin Smith fan or just fan of cinema and Jersey in general.
And right next to it is the RST video, and inside the Quick Stop, it is smaller than my apartment.
It is.
Oh,
it's really, really tiny.
Yes.
Anytime they actually use it, they basically rent it from the guy that owns it and clear everything out of it just to be able to have enough.
I actually thought they just used the front and just filmed the rest everywhere else.
And the RST next to it, it's still derelict, and it still has all the forgotten VHS tapes and game cartridges in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, like that was the first thing I noticed when we first sought that out.
Yep. I think I have a picture on my phone. I don't know. If not on my phone, it's probably in Google Photos. I may have a picture somewhere. I'll have to.
Yeah, I know that we wanted to try and get over there in character to take pictures at some point. Me and Applejack.
Yes, and post. I'll take a picture and post it and tag Kevin Smith. And be like, yeah, you gotta check this out.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
Yeah, I actually, that reminds me, I haven't gone over to the comic shop since they moved.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I need to go ahead and find that because they moved into a bigger area.
Yeah, it's like two blocks.
The shop itself is bigger.
Yeah, it's
the
like
old one.
Yeah, it's like 2 blocks away from the old location.
Yeah, the old one was very dark. It was very old, but it was also very cramped. Mm-hmm. And now it's very nice. It's open, modern. So I want to get in there. I need new sticker decals because mine all came off my car.
Snooches booches. All right, moving right along. All right, how are people earning money scamming scammers?
Oh God, the scam baiting network community on YouTube I'd have a field day for this.
That's one of the things I have been watching. I've been watching Scammer Payback, Kit Boga, Jim Browning. Yes.
So yeah, turning the tables on the Ore Ore scam in Nagoya can leave you richer than you were before the attempted fraud. The Ore Ore scam is one of the oldest kinds of Japan. It starts when a crook calls a senior citizen on the phone and says, "Oreda," or "It's me." Plans for the target will mistake the scammer for a son or grandson, or should they ask, "Who was this?" The scammer will go guilt tactic saying, "What? It's me. You recognize my voice, don't you?" And yeah, this is just tailoring the scam to your market.
Mm-hmm.
The next step is for their scammer to tell you that they target that the scammer needs money and fast, usually to help smooth over some mistake at work. It's a despicable deception that preys on Japanese societal values of familial and professional responsibility, and every year Japanese seniors are defrauded out of millions and millions of yen by it. But as of now, there's a way for law-abiding Japanese people to actually make money from Ore Ore scams instead. And no, they don't have to mug the pickup guy. Somebody call Mark Rober. Tell him to deploy his glitter bombs to Japan.
What? I want you to know he once deployed that glitter bomb and someone got arrested.
Oh yeah. I love that saga that's brewing up.
Yes.
Anyhow, on May 1st, the Minabe precinct of the Aichi Prefectural Police, which serves and protects the city of Nagoya's Minami Ward, launched a new aspect of Operation Pretend to be Fooled. Not very creative, but this new crime-fighting program asks people who've been contacted by someone claiming to be a loved one who needed cash to notify the police, then work with them to draw the scammer out. For each case in which cooperation leads to the identification of the scammers, the original target will be paid 10,000 yen. That's about $98. The IG police created the system following a recent increase of ore scams in the prefecture, though currently it's only residents of Minami Ward that are eligible for the crime-fighting bounties, which are funded by Nagoya Minami Ward Crime Prevention Association. A Minami precinct spokesman said that in addition to being leading the apprehension of criminals, they hope the program, which is being prompted promote local signs and posters, will help raise awareness of ore scams and encourage people to be more vigilant about demanding proper identification for anyone asking for cash over the phone. So yeah, like incentivizing scam baiters, or it's like you're fucked.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, honestly, of all the scam baiting stuff I've seen, like my favorite video was this one where the guy actually had broken into the system and actually saw the script that they use when they call people.
Mm-hmm.
So when they called him, he just went from their script back at them. And they got so pissed off. It was beautiful.
Perfect.
So yeah, I just love seeing scammers like this get their comeuppance.
I'm all for it.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Now this one is an odd one because the way my apartment is laid out, I can wake up and see somebody in my kitchen and be like, "What are you doing in my kitchen?" I don't have anything, Anywho, and Osaka.
Where's your money? For it.
What money? You're funny, Oh, so here's one, but here's the thing. An Osaka man finds a stranger eating in his kitchen at night, and the stranger dies shortly after.
Dies?
You heard me, dies. And as saying goes, truth is stranger than fiction. So around 11 o'clock, a 60-year-old man got out of bed and went to the kitchen of his house for a glass of water. As he entered the room, he was shocked to find a man he had never met before sitting at the table eating foods such as a frozen pasta dinner. Well now. The stranger looked to be in his 30s and was wearing a t-shirt that he had found in the house. When the resident confronted him, the stranger simply said, I came in the front door. He then suddenly became erratic, behaved violently while trying to flee. The resident's younger brother, who lived next door, heard the commotion, came in to help restrain the intruder. Meanwhile, the resident's father, who lived in the same house, called 110, which is basically Japan's equivalent to 911. Officers rushed to the scene and arrested the stranger, but when they arrived, he had lost consciousness. He was then taken to the hospital where he died an hour later. With the intruder now deceased, police have little to work with in piecing together what had happened. But based on his personal belongings, they believed he lived in Osaka Prefecture, but still working on identifying him and the cause of his death. Netizens were quite left dumbfounded about the whole thing. It's a series of horrors from beginning to end. A man in his 30s suddenly dying, a man in his 60s living with his father next to his brother, frozen pasta. The more I try to make sense of it all, the harder it gets. Sounds like the victims might have choked him to death, but it was self-defense. Those people in the house were lucky he wasn't a murderer. They better lock the door from now on. I'm suspicious about the people in the house. I can kind of see that. Adding to the confusion, the story as told was according to a YTV report, but as per what ABC News also reported on the incident, was considerably different details. According to them, the intruder was in the process of heating up the pasta when he discovered he was already not breathing by the time the police had arrived. However, ABC News cited no sources, unlike White TV, who got its information from the police. It may take some time before a clearer picture of what happened that night is understood. It's also quite possible no one except the intruder knew how he ended up in that kitchen, and the full truth may have died with him. And by ABC News, I mean the Asahi Broadcasting Company, not the ABC News that we know. But that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it just raises too many questions.
Maybe it was something in the air. I don't know. It's in the air tonight, I guess. Anywho. Ready to wrap this up?
Oh, yeah.
I hear that. So let's go ahead and get up on out of here. So if you like the show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. So what we like and don't like, we're basically telling you straightforward. Ronald421 says they stuffed that frozen pasta down his throat. I'd buy it. I'd buy that one. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcasts, anime reviews, editorials, cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook page of convention and cosplay photos, and then some. All at animejamsession.com. And if you have a phone, fire up your podcasting app and search Anime Jam Session. You'll find basically 500 episodes, 10 years of great content. So you can find it on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anything that you use for finding podcasts. Just search Anime Jam Session and it'll come up. And if you have something you want to say, leave us a review on one of them. We greatly appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here. Don't forget to follow us on our social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's all Anime Jam Session. Follow us on those social media so you can check out our convention coverage, our cosplay photos, when we're going live, when you can watch repeats of our episodes, and then some. And now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I watched the bed sheets today because I found out they can all fit in the building's washers and dryers without blowing them up, so I've got an especially clean bed to look forward to tonight.
Nice. Last words, Mako-chan.
I have to make my bed now.
My last words. Ice cream is in my future, as well as some other stuff. We'll see how that goes. Anywho, I also want to say, we appreciate everybody that's been hosting us, throwing biddies, subscriptions, all of that. We really appreciate that. Right down below is our tip jar where you can give to our Ko-Fi, Streamlabs, Cheer, anything. We truly appreciate all of that. So anywho, we're going to get up and get out of here. So last words.
We already went through that.
Did we? Oh shit, I must be really tired. You'd think I do this every week, I wouldn't skip a spot, but anywho, we're getting out of here. I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
Mako.
Yeah, sorry.
And that's Mako-chan. Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. That's it. We're getting out of here. See you next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on the show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it! For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!